Hey guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and my camera is on the fritz, so we are going with crappy webcam today. Hopefully it works. But anyway, those of you who follow me on Twitter or Instagram already know I had a lovely Better World Books book haul come in the other day, so I figured it was probably time to share that with you. I say the other day is when these came in, but by the time you're seeing it, it was probably like last week or the week before. Here are the lovely books. I should start by saying this is probably one of the most random sprees I've gone on. I don't know. I bought some weird things. Some were just totally cover appeal. Some were things that have been on my wish list, either because I actually want them or again because of cover appeal. Some were things I stumbled upon and thought, that sounds interesting. At one point I had like 20 books in my cart and I ended up narrowing it down, ended up with 10. Some of them are so random I really have no idea, so if you've read them, let me know what you think. One of the first ones that I came across, and this was definitely a cover appeal buy, was The Bloodkeeper by Tessa Gratton. What makes this kind of funny is this is actually book 2, and I don't have book 1, but I really like the way they redesigned these covers. I actually just had this on, not this one, but the covers on Friday Face Off, and we talked about the old versus new covers, and I really like it. So I decided I wanted it, even though I've never read anything by her, and haven't read the first book, so I figured if I'm gonna buy this one, I should probably buy this as well. So this is book 1, Blood Magic. This is book 2, Bloodkeeper, and we'll see when I get to them, but I thought they looked cool. Tessa is part of, I think they call themselves the Merry Sisters of Fate, but it's her, Maggie Stiefvater, and Brenna Yovanoff. I've read Shiver by Maggie, and was only so-so, though I've heard really good things about a number of her other books, and I do own other books by her, so I will read more. But I adore Brenna, so since the three write together, and I'm assuming they kind of have, similar interests and influence each other a bit, I was curious to see what Tessa brings to the mix. Next up, I got The Year of the Beasts by Cecil Castellucci and Nate Powell. I just read Tin Star by Cecil and really liked it, so I was curious about what else she's done, and I came across this one, which is told half in graphic novel form and half in regular novel form, which I think sounds really interesting, and I'm guessing is mythology related, because that's a Gorgon right there. So I really know nothing else about it other than that I like Cecil, looks cool, like the concept of merging the two styles, and thought I would give it a try. Hadn't heard of it though until I was browsing. Next up, and this one will probably be a little bit funny to anyone who followed along with the Unspoken read-along for Wednesday YA. I got a copy of Team Human by Justine Larbalestier and Sarah Reese Brennan. Sarah wrote Unspoken, which did not win me over, for those of you that saw that slightly rant-filled Twitter chat or review. But this one's kind of been on my radar for a while. I've heard good things. I'm always curious to see how it turns out when two writers write together and, try to blend their styles or not, just bring their own thing to the table. So I was curious about it. I do have other books by Sarah anyway, so she'll be getting more chances. Hopefully she'll win me over more than she did in Unspoken. But her style was funny, it amused me, so I'm hoping that she will win me over, but I guess we'll find out. Next up is Little Hands Clapping by Dan Rhodes, which has been on my wish list forever, mostly due to this cover, but also due to the fact, it's a weird title, and weird titles always appeal to me, but I've heard that it is just a warped little book, just really, really strange, full of eccentricity, and I love that. I figured, why not? I mean, weird things always win me over, so wasn't much of a gamble. I haven't heard too much about it though, so if you've read it, definitely let me know your thoughts. Next up is The Misadventures of Maud March, or Trouble Rides a Fast Horse, by Audrey Columbus, and this one has been in my Better World Books wish list for ages now, mostly because of this cover. I don't know, it won me over. Also, largely due to the title. I love a good quirky title, as I mentioned, and though westerns didn't appeal to me for the longest time, they do more so now, and especially when the protagonist is a young girl who's having to brave the wilds and be plucky and spirited and all that, so I thought I would give it a try. This one has a lot of different covers, and they're all really fun. I think I might have to have it on Friday Face Off though. Then I got a short story anthology called Willful Impropriety, with the subtitle 13 Tales of Society, Scandal, and Romance. Mostly I wanted this because of the cover. But I also like short story anthologies because it gives me a chance to try out other authors' styles, which can be a disservice to them sometimes, because sometimes short stories just aren't an author's strength. There have been plenty of authors that I've discovered and sought out because of short stories that I've read by them, so it's a nice way to kind of dip a toe in the water and see what you think of them. And I'm not as anti-short story as a lot of people seem to be. I actually really like them, when done well. I don't know how well you can read that, but here are the people that are in it. Next up, I got a copy of All Good Children by Catherine Austen, which I had not heard of. I don't know a single thing about. I think it's dystopian. I might just be assuming that because of the kind of dark cover, but I just was really, really struck by that image and wanted it. I also really like underneath the slip jacket is the exact same thing. The book is fully designed, so even if something happens to the slip jacket, or if I want to loan it out to someone without having the cover be damaged, it still looks awesome. And because I was seeing it online, I hadn't seen the back at all, and I didn't read the synopsis. As I said, I just was struck by the cover, but I actually really like what's on the back. It says, "Living with hope is like rubbing up against a cheese grater. It keeps taking slices off you until there's so little left you just crumble." Intrigue. Next up, I got Bad Hair Day by Carrie Harris, who is a Michigan author, and I've met her and she is fabulous. She wrote Bad Taste in Boys, which is a zombie book, which I have and is signed, but I have not read yet. But this is part of the same world, if not the same series. I'm not sure if they're directly linked. I believe they are, but either way, they're definitely in the same world that Carrie has created. But this one is werewolves, hence Hair Day. I've heard that she's really funny and a good funk breaker, so that alone, you know, is enough to make me want this, but the fact that she's a Michigan author definitely bumps it up the list. Werewolves and zombies don't hurt. And lastly, I got With a Name Like Love by Tess Hilmo, which has been on my wish list for ages. I've been meaning to pick it up. I look at it just about every time I buy something from Better World Books, so I finally went ahead and got it. I really, really like the cover, but it also just sounds really good and has gotten a lot of great reviews and critical acclaim, and it was time that it finally made its way into my home. So that is what I got from Better World Books this time. Let me see if I can show you all those again. Oh gosh. Yee! So that is what I got. I need to try to find room for all of these on the packed, messy shelves that you see partially behind you. Speaking of shelves, I know I'm way overdue for more bookshelf tour. I promise it's coming. I'm actually going to record it as soon as my camera starts working again, because carrying the webcam around in front of the shelves isn't really going to work. Anyway, that's coming along with a whole host of other videos because I have a lot recorded that I need to edit for you guys and a lot more planned. Prepare to be seeing a lot more of my face and my antics because I have things to share with you guys. That is all for now. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the books in the comments, and happy reading!